Have you been told that your baby has high muscle tone or low muscle tone? And you're wondering, what does that mean? What is high muscle tone and what is low muscle tone? Hi there, it's Neesha from My Favorite Physio. In today's video, I'm jumping in to share with you 3 signs that differentiate between high muscle tone and low muscle tone when we're talking about muscle tone in babies and toddlers. So here at My Favorite Physio, we see lots of babies and toddlers with special needs, as well as typically developing children for different musculoskeletal concerns. As pediatric physiotherapists, our area of expertise is in helping babies and children move better. So I thought I would jump in and share with you the difference between high muscle tone and low muscle tone in babies, because we're often seeing children who may have either high muscle tone or low muscle tone. So the first sign of high muscle tone versus low muscle tone is a child with high muscle tone tends to be always stiffening up and extending themselves. So when you're carrying a baby who has high muscle tone, you tend to find they're stiff and they're arching and they always want to, be straight when you're carrying them. So when you carry them, you feel like they're very stiff and hard to bend to hold. Whereas a baby with low muscle tone tends to feel like they are floppy, and when you hold them, they feel like they will fall through you because they're not holding themselves upright while you carry them. Often parents would say, it feels like you're carrying a koala bear because they just want to flop on you and flop through your arms. So that's a first sign of the difference between high muscle tone and low muscle tone. Second, the difference between high muscle tone and low muscle tone is if you try to flap their hands and ankles. So if you held on to their wrists and you flap their wrists, you'll find that a high muscle tone child will tend to be very stiff. So if you try to shake their hands, it just stays quite stiff. It doesn't flap about very much. Or if you try to, pull their arms forwards or bend their arms up, it always is very stiff movement. If you're trying to flap their ankles, you'll find that if you shake their ankles, their foot don't flap very much. It just stays stiff. A child with low muscle tone, if you hold their wrists and you flap them, you might find that when you stop flapping, their wrist is still flapping because their joints are quite flexed. You might find that when you hold their arms, they seem to just flop around a lot. Their shoulders as well, they seem to be very double jointed. Same thing with their ankles. If you shake their ankle, their foot just keeps flapping and doesn't seem to stop. The third sign that would indicate between high muscle tone and low muscle tone is if you find that they are tending to tiptoe when you put baby onto standing. So even when baby is born, when you put them on their feet, they seem to want to go onto their toes. They're struggling to put their foot down flat. Their knees are stiff and they're just pushing through on their toes. Versus a child who's low muscle tone, you try to make them stand and they just flop down. They don't put weight through their legs. They're just collapsing onto their knees and onto their bum. And you feel like when you hold them, all of their body flops, whereas this high muscle tone child is very stiff and on their toes. So those are 3 signs that would help you differentiate between a child having high muscle tone or a child having low muscle tone. If you are concerned about your child muscle tone and the way they move, the best thing to do is to actually see a pediatric physiotherapist. So if you would like to see one of our expert pediatric physiotherapists who can do a full assessment for your child, the number to ring here at My Favorite Physio is 02-9790-4233. And if you know somebody out there who's just had a newborn baby or a young baby or toddler and they're concerned about their movement patterns, why don't you like and share this video with them? Until next time, have a fantastic day. Bye.